The last part of his prayer, though, is a prayer of faith. It starts in verse 16. He says, I heard and my inward parts trembled. At the sound my lips quivered. Decay enters my bones, and in my place I tremble, because I must wait quietly for the day of distress, for the people to arise who will invade us. He says, oh, I've heard God speak. I know what's coming. And the very thought of people taking my home and my dog and my children is so distressing. But God said it, and even though it makes me shake, I'm going to stand quietly and wait. Whew. That's faith, isn't it? No more whining, no more complaining. I'm going to stand and wait. This distress is coming. But look at the faith that comes next in verse 17. Though the fig tree should not blossom and there be no fruit on the vines, though the yield of the olive should fail and the fields produce no fruit, though the flock should be cut off from the fold and there be no cattle in the stalls, yet I will exult in the Lord. I will rejoice in the God of my salvation. Whoa, this is faith. He says, look, I know that this judgment may mean that I might lose everything. The bank account may go. The savings may go. The house may go. It all may go. Yet, I will exult in the Lord. And that word exult means jump for joy. I'm going to jump for joy regardless of my circumstances, is what he's saying. I'm going to trust God regardless of my circumstances. And because his faith is increased now, he's heard God speak, he believes what God says, he ends with verse 19, because I know his character, because I know what his past conduct, the Lord will be my strength, number one, and he has made my feet like hinds' feet. I've read that a hind is a female deer, and their feet are more sure or steady than a male deer. So God is saying he will make our feet sure, even when these difficult things come. And Habakkuk ends by saying, he makes me walk on high places. This man has gone from the pit of distress to the watchtower to listen to what God has to say, wait for him to speak, and then on up to high places in the Lord. Does God always do things the way you expect? Does he answer your prayers just like that? Have you ever had a time when your faith has wavered? We can learn from this, can't we? When we haven't heard God speak, faith comes from hearing. Let us go up to the watchtower and wait for God to speak. And he will. And then let us learn, because of his past actions and his character, that we can trust him regardless of the circumstances. You see, the lesson here has been Habakkuk may have been in distress, but he was not distressed. He was in distress, but he was not distressed. I think it's important for us to remember that old saying, and I think this is what Habakkuk did. You look around, you'll be distressed. Look within, you'll be depressed. But look above, see his face, and be at rest.